Back to Chicago, where we find our next five-star investor, whose motto is ignore the crowd. The Fair Home Fund, gaining 15% over 5 years with only about 20 positions out of $9 billion, Mark. Pretty impressive. Joining us, Bruce Berkowitz, president of Fair Home Capital Management and portfolio manager of the Fair Home Fund. $9 billion, 20 stocks, Bruce, right?
That's about right.
All right, that's pretty incredible because, you know, you've been up over 3 years, up over 5. You're outperforming the market so far this year. What are the main stocks, the biggest bets you've got in there?
Well, in the past, it's been the oil sector, energy services, diversified companies such as Berkshire Hathaway and Leucadia. So we tended to ignore the crowd and go into oil and gas early. But now the crowd seems to be all over the oil and gas sector, so we seem to be pulling back and now going to, of all places, health-related companies, healthcare.
Healthcare. Now, there's a lot of places within that. Are you going into the beaten-down big pharmas or no?
Well, the only place to get the bargains in the beaten-down, stressed-out industries where no one wants to be, so we're going into big pharma, small pharma, HMOs. All I know, Aaron, is that I'm getting older, I'm driving less, so we're pulling back from energy and going into healthcare and health-related services.
You are aware that looming on the horizon is a very popular Democratic candidate for president who might have a lot to say about what's going on in the health business.
Yes, I am quite aware, and work needs to be done in all areas of healthcare, but who's going to do it? And let's face facts. We all want to live to 100. We all want to tap dance until the last day of our life, and there are unintended consequences. And the unintended consequence is that we're going to spend a lot of money on health care. And we're going to have to figure out how to do it. But who's going to do it? You.
All right. I think you may be overestimating. I think the only people who really want to live to 100 are Cubs fans because they figure it'll take that long to see them win a World Series again. But let's slice and dice then the healthcare world, because there are a lot of different ways to go there. Do you go with HMOs? Do you go with pharmacy benefit people? Where do you go?
Right. Well, what we're doing is what we always do, which has led us to telecom, oil and gas, and other hated places at one time or another, is we count the cash. We look at the free cash flow of the companies, and we count them. We look at their balance sheets. We look at their capital allocation policies. And if it makes sense, and if we think we can get a double-digit free cash flow yield, and we can't kill the business, we're going to go with it.
All right, so
that today means Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
No, I was just going to say, so it's much more about the financials than it is whatever niche they occupy.
Absolutely, and right now some of the big pharmaceutical companies are trading at levels not seen. 10 years ago, everyone was in love with big pharma. That's multiples, right. 40, 50 times earnings. Today, they're under 10 times earnings, some companies, and you can't touch them.
Bruce, some of the pharma guys themselves, though, say we are in horrible, miserable, unfathomable condition for the next 5 years. We know we have no new drugs. Wow. Is that what you're betting on, too? I mean, this is a big bet long-term?
Well, that's the other reason for why the stocks are in such a distressed price. But in fact, the pipelines for some companies are very good, and Big Pharma has given away the generic versions of their drugs. But we are with generic companies. We haven't publicly announced what we have been buying, but
I've noticed you haven't given any names.
No,
okay.
we haven't disclosed it yet. But the generics, the pharmas, the HMOs, all we do, we count the cash. If the cash is coming into the cash register, staying in the cash register, being distributed to the owners of the company in a proper form, we want to buy them, and the services are vital to the national interest.
All right, Bruce, thank you very much.